Welcome to Stars in the Dark, and now we're at session 16.
Woo!
Which I say every time, but it feels crazy every time. This is one of the longest games I've run ever. Not the longest, but one of the longest. Feels good. Last session, we had not a jailbreak, but a jail transport break, I guess. The crew rescued Maxanos, their patron, and part of the rebellion, and as well as her friend, fighter, Roar, the Wookiee, and from a shuttle that was taking them to the Cube prison. But now everyone is free and happy, and everything's nice, and there are no problems.
No more problems ever.
Yeah. So I figure we'll do a short round of. I don't think you need to introduce your characters really. If anyone's watching this, they've watched at least one episode before, and if not, start at the beginning. But just sum up a bit, maybe something cool that happened last session and something you want to do this session. And I'll go around the screen here, so I'm starting with Mark.
My favorite part was jumping out of the aircraft with no parachute. See what happens.
So dope.
Did not go as cool as I thought it would, but it was still super fun. In this session, so part of that was Celine, my old partner / rival from the Street Tech, getting busted for the crime that we did and us getting her out. So I think I want to see if we can flip her and get her into the crew.
Cool. Yeah, because since you increased tier, you can have some more people in your gang. I should look up exactly the rough size of your.
It's like 12-ish, I think.
I think it's like 8 people or something. Crazy. Yeah. Steven is next on my screen.
So I think for me, the cool thing was, I guess, kind of getting the snot beat out of me, and then trying to do decent piloting skills to kind of get us out of trouble. And this session, I kind of imagine that I'm going to be, there's always too much stuff to do during downtime, which would be, I need to get my wounds healed because I'm, pretty bad, and okay, not horrible bad, but I'm, I need to fix my black eyes where I got my face kicked in and that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Cool. Rich.
Before I say anything about the game, I have just made a discovery about Google Sheets that I have to share before I forget it. My mouse pointer was hovered over the tabs. We got a bunch of tabs in our Google Sheet. The scroll wheel works on the tabs. So that's a thing that I didn't know would happen until I saw them moving, and I'm like, holy crap. I'm playing Edema, the Ratataki, is it cool that during a mission that was going a little haywire, she picked a fight with one of the prisoners that they were trying to save? That was noteworthy? I don't know if it was cool, but it was a thing that happened. And then as soon as she realized how stupid it was, she tried to back out of it. So growth, hashtag? Or I think the hashtag comes first. But anyway, so that was a thing. And then he took off on a grab sled to escape and swore, "You have not seen the last of Fruvo." So that is a thing I am really excited about, is that he had no right to be punched in the face by Edema. Edema needs to pay for being so silly. This session, Edema's definitely got to relieve some stress. However, I realize it's dangerous because she only has 4, so I may overindulge. and then that we'll see how that goes. And also Boko owes me because I pay for Celine to get a present. I've written that down. Even if we reworked how the creds worked, that is affixed in Edema's mind.
Cool. I just checked, and tier 2 gangs are up to 12 people. So you have some recruiting to do to fill out your group, since you have a gang. Excellent. I'll go through the wishes we've saved up. Scenes between various characters. I think we'll get to do some of that today, except of course for Kai's for Bria, since Kai isn't with us today. I forgot to mention that. Hopefully he'll rejoin us next session. There was also a wish for scenes with Tiri and or Maxa, the people you have rescued recently. Scene with Celine, as Mark mentioned, and maybe looking into some holdings, starting to work on the holding map thingy. Cool. I'll go through the status changes from your last job. We did all the fallout, but relationships change as well because of your jobs. You were already maxed out with Maxa, so she remains your steadfast ally, even though she can no longer be your patron because you're on the same level now. So that's a thing. You lost status with StreetSec, which has pushed you to war with them as well. So now you're at war both with StreetSec and the garrison. So that's a thing that's happening. You got
That sounds like a terrible idea. I just want to. Rich says that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, it is a terrible idea. It's not as terrible for your crew as it would be for the average crew, since you have the war dogs advance, so you don't suffer the all of the negative effects of being at war, which usually is absolutely terrible. But for you, you're used to this. This is where you live. You got a +1 relationship with the population of the foundry because they like that you took StreetSec down a peg, since they've been running roughshod with the people there. Sadly, that just pops you up to neutral, but still, it's an improvement. You also got a +1 with the 1,000 Knives, your former bosses, we should call them, your former parent gang, because for similar reasons. You lost 1 status with the Rancors, which is the gang that's rumored to be heavily, or actually it's known to be heavily infiltrated by CoreSec. So they're not happy about you fighting with the cops. And you got a +1 with the Moon Minox. There's a lot of former 1,000 Knives members who have joined the Moon Minox. The 1,000 Knives were hit hard by StreetSec raids and were sort of scattered. They still exist as a gang, but they're very they're heavily decimated, and many of the people there have joined with Zori Bliss's Moon Minox, who are now tier 3. They are a big important gang. That's not new, but I think I should point that out. I think that was the status things. I'll go to the events tab. I filled out some of the events from the previous sessions. I had slacked off a bit on noting things there. I'll just go through what I've noted for this session. The street fighting in the foundry has died down. After your your attack on the prison transport, they raided several resistance hideouts and arrested most of the demonstration leaders, including the one Etma had contact with, who is on the prominent citizens line of the NPCs tab, Work Malot. He's been detained. I've restructured the NPCs tab just a little bit. I've added some rows just so you don't have to scroll off to the side with everything. Yeah, there were some follow-up demonstrations, but they've used the military vehicles they have received from the garrison and stun grenades and the like. They're not killing people. It's not a slaughter in the streets, but they've pushed hard, and people the population seem to have been cowed a bit. No one's really leading the protest anymore, so there's a scattered protest here and there, but StreetSec are pretty hard on pushing back on that. So there hasn't been any big protest recently. I'll also go through the clocks. I'll note that Anathem's hunt. Anathem is the Inquisitor who's after the artifact. He's one tick away from locating the artifact, so that's the thing. The assassin Kernok has started to look for Voko's contacts. There are no ticks on that clock yet. The garrison scouts are looking for the general location of your lair. Your lair is hidden, so they can't just find it, but they can figure out roughly where it is. And StreetSec has started to question your known associates to try to find out what they need to crack down on you. So that is what's going on there. Do you have any questions about the current situation? No, everyone's clear on what's going on.
Yeah.
I've added some potential jobs to the jobs tab. Some ways you can deal with the garrison and StreetSec. There's also, I've clarified a bit some of the options you have for getting holdings, turf. I've map, I guess you call it, on the cruise tab, but as we discussed in a previous session, it's possible to skip over one and go to something that's further out, but it's going to be more difficult. And it doesn't have to be a job to do one of these things. It doesn't have to be like a mission. It can be something you do as part of downtime or as part of a job or something like that. But generally, I've noted it on the jobs tab because that's the natural place to have it. I've also noted selling the artifact as a potential job. That would be one way to pawn off the problem with Anathem on someone else and get paid for it. That would most likely entail doing a job in the form of transporting the artifact to whoever you sell it to. Also, Becker has contacted you, I think probably Boko. I think you're the one who's had the most contact with Becker. He's worried about Thierry, about the long-term effects of the harsh interrogation she was put through by Black Sun. And he can't get adequate medical care for her here on 1313, so he wants to send her to 1314, which is the next level up, to some sort of specialist there. And if you could help with that, he would be grateful. He can't pay you a lot, but it's something that's out there. And he can probably solve that in some other way, but he's let you know that that's there. Becker is still, the feeling you get is that Becker is still kind of running Max's rebels, even though she's back, because she's Yeah, she was also put through a lot during her arrest, and she needs time to recover. She doesn't seem to be, from what you've seen, she doesn't seem to be heavily traumatized, but she's still been through an ordeal, and he's kind of running more of the day-to-day. So, do you want to start with some character scenes, maybe? Is there something? I don't think we've seen Bade and Etema together much. And I think, like, Bade, you're definitely the youngest person on the crew, but I think Etema is the second youngest, even if we include the gang members and that sort of thing.
That's true. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the others are kind of more. I mean, you have a lot of experience running with some heavy criminal gangs, but I think you're still, maybe you and Bade still kind of share a perspective there. But that was just something that hit me right now. But Bade and Etema, what do you think you could get up to together?
Bade, do you want to go out, blow some steam? I really need to get out of here, be around people, dance, get high. My treat.
So, I'm not feeling great, there's no way that, my two big black eyes and, all these, the whole side of my face is bruised. There's no way I can go to a bar like this. I mean, we could go to like a boxing place or something like that if you wanted. Because I'd fit in there, right?
Oh, and it kind of registers that you're messed up, and she adjusts from her like Ratataki thing of we wear bruises, like, that's a cool thing. And oh no, listen, babe, listen. I know a medical droid, Sawtooth. She also, this is the same Sawtooth. She said, don't tell him I know. He'll take care of you.
Well, I think that, I think that would be great, but I don't want to keep you from doing what you wanted to do. I thought at a shock boxing ring, they must have a doctor or something that I could see. And, you seem to need to blow off some steam. And maybe I'm a little bit more worried about how angry you get than I am about keeping a bruise or two. What, do you not
Okay.
box?
Oh, of course I box.
Okay.
Yeah,
I thought I saw
yeah.
some of the. I thought I saw some gloves. Yeah.
Oh, I love those things. Sure. I'll hit up Betty and see where she's at.
You'll hit up who?
Betty the Beast. She's an old friend of mine. We sparred together back when I was trying to help her out, and I know she's probably still doing it.
Ah.
And
So,
I'll
is
make
she
sure
good?
that she hooks you up with a. She's good. Yeah, she's really good.
Cool.
She's cute. Are you looking for someone?
Well, I think we're all looking for someone, right? Don't we, have some space where we could hire some more people and get the crew a little bit bigger?
Oh no, I'm in for sex.
Oh, well, maybe. But I was actually thinking, if she's good, she'd be good for. Have you had sex with her? Is she
No,
good?
no.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she's really pretty. Usually a little bruised, but underneath, when she heals up, she fixes up nice. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, there's actually a fighting pit not too far from your headquarters. It's, and I think I know about this somewhere. Where was that? I don't remember if I decided who was running that. Oh, it was in the things I sent to Boko, I think, or sent to Mark about Boko's Focus options for gambling. Let me see if I can find that. But you can definitely meet up with Betty. Sorry, I'm scrolling through old messages. I can't find it. I don't know where I sent it. Sorry. I think we'll say that it's Skirbo, actually. He runs shock boxing in the foundry, and this is the scrapyard, but it's close to the foundry. So I think this is his place as well.
Is this sort of like his feeder where he like gets people off the street and he'll pluck the people who are good enough and they go up to his main job?
Probably. This is one of those places. The scrapyard it's not a lawless area. The street tech still comes here, but there's not a lot of dedicated presence here. So it's a good place for scooping up like tough guys who come from the gangs and that sort of thing. So yeah. Actually, I think I decided it was someone else, but I think Scarborough comes there to recruit at least. He's like he runs most of the shock boxing in the area, and I think going to one of his places is like at least half a step up from this place. So it's he's there occasionally recruiting, and I think Betty is probably she's advanced beyond this this level, but if you invite her to go there to watch or to spar or to like do something, then she'll definitely be up.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't had I don't think I've seen her in, gosh, like 4 or 5 games. So I think a good bit of time has passed since the last time we hung out. So that sounds like a really fun setup.
Yeah, and I don't think I think we barely had her on screen, so to speak. We mentioned that you've done things with her, but it's not been we haven't like played it out. So you go to this place, and this is like almost a literal pit. It's like a scrapyard amphitheater.
Cool.
It has like steps made out of compressed old vehicles and that sort of thing. So it's not a safe place to be in, but it's got atmosphere. So there's the fighting ring is down in the center, and there are like seats all around, and they have shock boxing, and they have some other types of fighting as well. Sometimes they capture some wild beast and let people fight that, and there are all kinds of things going on there. But today I think it's or you go there on the day when it's shock boxing. So there's down when you get there, there's this big brute-looking human who is fighting a. Let me look at the species. He is fighting a. Let's go with a Weequay. They're slugging it out. The human is bigger and stronger, clearly, but the Weequay has some is mobile. He has some fancy moves. But as you're walking down the steps to find a good seat, the human manages to get a good hit in, stunning the Weequay, and then savage uppercut that knocks him out. And the winner is Brock.
Nice. Yeah. Edema gets into it. She throws a fist up, maybe shoves Bade. Then Bade probably winces a bit. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I like getting into it. So, and Bade is kind of looking the crowd, watching to see where the groups are, maybe where people have been drinking a little bit too much, and kind of leading us in that direction.
Yeah.
You know, I
There's-
think we were both trained to look for marks in different ways.
And I think Etma said, or Bates says, well, you know, am I that obvious? I mean, you're looking
It's
for the
okay.
weak. So
Yeah. No, not a problem. It's kind of zing. I like it.
oh, so you're into the fight in the ring, not as much the brawl that we see out here with the drunks and all of that, because it'll be really easy to pick a fight out here.
It would be. I don't think Edema's like she's that's a really
Wouldn't be
good
a fair fight out here.
It certainly wouldn't be. It certainly wouldn't be. But really what she is into is stupor, like getting beaten. So if it's too easy, I think it doesn't appeal to her. Like she wants someone who can beat her to a pulp, if that
Is that Betty?
sense.
Can Betty do that?
Oh yeah. Betty.
Betty will
Betty
just beat you to a pulp. Man.
Yeah. We spar all the time. Edema would never say, I want to be beaten senseless, but that is exactly what she wants. So
She would say, I want a challenge.
Yeah, I want a challenge.
Yeah.
These guys aren't a
Good workout.
challenge. Yeah, good workout. Good go. Few cuts. It's good between friends.
Let's go down and talk to like the manager and see if we can't find somebody who's a big deal and get you in the ring.
I think that guy who just beat up the weak way sounds pretty good.
Oh no, you can do better than that, can't you?
Probably.
Is that all you got?
Oh my goodness.
So I'm going to egg Etma on, and if we can find a manager, I'm going to egg the manager on and see, do they have a champion or do they have something big that Etma can go after?
Cool.
Not that I just want to bite off two more than you can chew, Rich, but I'm just saying.
That sounds good. That sounds really, really fun.
Yeah. Whatever I said before, I think this fighting pit is run by the Wreckers. They're another crew. They're on your level. They're tier 2. Their leader is in the NPCs tab. On the gang leader tab, Sledge is her name, and they're known to be violent. They're kind of like you, except they're not known to be professional like you are. They're more smash and grab kind of crew. And there's a fair presence of them here, and you can spot them. They have, I guess, the Star Wars equivalent of like denim vests. I'm not sure what that would be, but that kind of vibe. Lots of studs, metal studs on their clothes, and that sort of thing. And so they are one group that's here. There's a bunch of like regular Joes and Janes to be. I don't know. There's a mixed group of people who work fairly close to here. It's or work in the general area, but come here just to watch. And the rankers are here as well. They stick together. They're like they move as a group. There's like 6-7 of them, and they stick together. They know they're not friendly with the wreckers, but at least this group seems to enjoy watching the matches, and they try to so they go here, but they probably don't want to go off alone, or bad things will happen. Yeah, sorry, that was that. Yeah, the manager. That's one of the. He's probably not a member of the Wreckers. He's a guy in like his late 40s. He's a bit heavyset, balding, and he's got like a looks like he's trying to look like fancier than he is. He's got the equivalent of an ill-fitting suit, I guess. So it's fancy clothes, but you can it's a fancy type of clothes, like some kind of tunic, I think, and pants, and they're supposed to look fancy, but you can tell they're cheaply made. They don't fit him. It's like it's a bad fit for him.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
What you described reminds me of an old character we had in a cartel game, Hut cartel game. Was it Jadar or Jaskar, the drug leader that I played that tried to dress up?
Oh, was it Jeldar? Yeah, I remember the
Jel-
guy. Oh, he was awesome.
Jeldar.
The Duros.
And the last time we saw him, he was like in the gutter, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Etema knew him, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think he's going. If you don't mind, I think this is the manager. He's going by a different name. He's trying to work his way up, but it's not that good. So
That's awesome.
I like the fact that Bade walks up and is going to try and talk some smack, but I think Etema and the manager recognize each other.
Oh God.
Yeah,
that
that's
is some
perfect.
mixed feelings. I love that.
Yeah. So I think that Bade, whenever she walks up, she's going to walk up with some swagger, and she's like, "Is this all you've got?" Right? This to the manager. She's like, this little fight you've got between people. Don't you have like a Rancor or a Wookiee or someone who could really do some damage? Because my girl here, she's ready to just knock it out of the park, and I don't know that you've got enough entertainment here for us.
Yeah, and I think you're saying that with he's standing with like his back half turned, and then he turns around, and he and Etema recognize each other. Oh, it's you. Sorry, I know I was in the game with Jaldar, but this was like 2-3 years ago. I don't remember how his general vibe.
Oh, I don't either. He is. This is the kind of stuff I remember. He's a slime ball, and anything you guys play with him is great. You just described someone who was trying to look above his station, and I'm like, oh yeah, that could be good. This is a guy who was a crime boss, and he got knocked down into the gutter, so he's trying to work his way back up. And I think you gave a name for him, and I think that I think he's going by another name because everybody would know that old name.
Yeah. Let me whip up the name generator. Sorry, I'm just blanking right now. He's going by Alex Byrne. Alex Byrne Holst.
Nice.
I will put that in the chat. Or actually, let's call it Lex Byrne Holst. That's what's his going by. So he turns around, and Etema, you notice that he recognizes you, but he pretends like he doesn't. Oh, I can assure you that I have quite enough fighters to fill my program. But if you want to enter for the open fight evening some other day, then sure, I can probably fit you into the schedule somewhere.
Oh, not me. It's my girl here. My girl here is going to. I mean, to be honest, just between you and me, and she kind of stage whispers, my girl here could own this place. I mean, she could take it. Just if we place the right bets, she's just more than anybody here can handle.
Oh yes, I'm sure. Sadly, the roster is full for tonight. and you'll just have to come back some other day.
It's your loss. And I think Bait actually starts to do the whole used car salesman walk away kind of thing.
Nice.
Like, your loss. And says, come on, come on.
Yeah, and Edema doesn't know that this is a ploy, so it's just pauses and then kind of accepts it, which is maybe a surprise of, yeah, maybe I don't want to mess with Jaldar Co right now because bad things happen then. So it's fine. Let's get you healed up.
Yeah. Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah, and just out of character, if you want to do like a stress relief thing here, then of course you can talk him into something. That's not.
I didn't think you were shutting it down. That's cool.
Yeah.
I think what I'd like to do is pivot the scene to let's get Bade taken care of, possibly chat with Betty, and then Edema after realizing, I don't want to mess with Jaldar Co. Bad memories there because of all that. Game session stuff, and she'll probably seek stress relief by going to see someone for different pleasure relief. Yeah, there we go.
So in that case, I think that we kind of go behind this. Let's talk about where we're going to do this. Let's go behind the scenes where they would have a medic, right? So I think we're back there with the boxers, and we're dealing with somebody who's just stitching them up. Would this be Sawbones? Do you think Sawbones would be back there stitching people up?
It could be fun, and I don't know how many medics we have on 1313. What do you think on this? Do you think?
I think we established previously that he moves around a bit. He doesn't
that's
have
right.
a fixed location, so he could definitely be here. Let me hit up the voice mode.
And Etema, did you let Betty know that we were going to be here?
Yeah, I think
we need to meet up with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if it's a brief, how are you? Sorry.
Oh, it's the flesh being Etema and her friend.
Yeah. I'm a good friend of Etema's. Yeah, let's sit down and what do you have? I need to have some of this looked at.
These injuries seem like they could use my skilled attention. Do you have money?
Yeah, I've got some money.
Excellent. Then we can do business.
So I understand that you're kind of on the clock here with the rest of the boxers, but and I think I'd start to tell this story about how I took on it was a whole troop of Corsac, right, all by myself, and I'm like, oh, and you should have seen this one, and Etema's fighting with a Rancor or some, taking on an AT-AT by herself, and I'm just telling Sawbones, Sawtooth, all about how great things are. Yeah.
I think the weak way that you saw when you came in, he's there on like a bed and he's still completely knocked out, and Sawtooth was probably supposed to be working on him, but when you come there and offer him money, then he's not too worried about weak way when you're paying him. So did the voice mod work? Yeah,
it did,
because I don't hear it myself. So it's,
if you hit the there's a button where you can hear yourself actually. So you can turn it on.
But then I think it will. I don't.
It is a little maddening.
Voice mod as my sound out, and since I'm not using headphones,
okay.
I think it could get weird.
Okay, understood. Totally makes sense.
Yeah, it sounded fine. It sounded good.
Yeah, it sounded awesome.
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure because I hit it and I don't know if I set everything to where it's working. Cool. So he can patch you up. He wants a credit for it. So if one of you pays him, then he will.
Yeah, I said it was on me, so I'll mark off my cred.
Cool. Then you can. Then Bade can do the recover action, and that means you roll with Actually, the healer makes the roll, and in this case, I think we've established before that he's like a tier 2. He's got like 2 dice. So if you make a roll with 2 dice,
Yeah, I'll do that. And I think Bade is like going through her little, like pulling out of her pocket some credits or a credit or something like that whenever Etema steps up and pays. And Bade looks at Etema a little bit weird, and you were like, "Oh, I said it was on me," and I'm like, "Yeah, but this isn't, this isn't fun. This is just maintenance, right? You want to save your credits for, getting high, right? Or maybe you're looking for a prostitute or something."
I mean, you're not wrong, but you're the new guy, so I gotta make sure you're taken care of, babe.
Oh, I think, well, yeah, okay, that's
Let me
fine.
do this. I got this. I got you.
Yeah. So I got a 5.
so
Two
5 is 2 ticks on your healing clock.
Okay.
You can push this if you pay more. For 1 cred, you push it to, let me see, 3 ticks. And for 2 creds, you push it to 5 ticks. 5 ticks would mean you roll over once. So all your injuries are reduced by 1 level, and then you have 1 tick again on your new clock. Because
Nice.
one round on the clock will reduce all your injuries.
Okay. And one cred for 1 extra thing. I think so. I get that healing from Sawtooth, for like we had established. I'm like, 1 more tick just doesn't sound worth it. And I kind of shake my head and I'm like, come on, this medical droid isn't worth it. I mean, so I think I'm gonna wander off. So the way that healing,
I told you he wasn't that great.
I provide excellent care. It's not my fault that you don't want to pay for the more expensive equipment.
yeah. I mean, that's what everybody says. I've been on the block before. I know what it's like whenever somebody says, "Oh, you didn't pay enough." It just means you're withholding. And I'm going to do the same thing. I think it's time to leave. We're going to, leave Sawtooth and be like, done with it.
Nice. Yeah. So did you want to meet up with Betty, go to a bar or something?
I think a brief meetup with Betty would be fun. Just like a keeping tabs. Does she have what's going on? Everything okay? Kind of conversations, really.
Is there a good place? I mean, this place is a little bit scummy, and if we're not going to fight here because that manager's a loser, how about if we go to a nice restaurant or something like that where we can catch up with Betty? Is that someplace Betty would like?
Yeah, I would send a note her way and say, "Hey, we want to buy you lunch. That was a good fight." Or lying. She's not fighting here, so I guess it's just, "Hey, we decided we want to grab a bite to eat. Come out. It's our treat, my treat."
Yeah. And I think at your current like lifestyle level, a nice restaurant, that's like the pizza place around the corner or the equivalent of that.
Yes, sadly true.
Yeah, it's not a fancy place, but it's fancier than a dive bar, that sort of thing.
Yeah, but it's a place where we could have a decent smoke, maybe have a drink or 2, eat some good food, it's not spoiled yet. Yeah. So that sounds great.
Yeah. I think your best chance is going to the Foundry, probably. In the scrapyard, it's mostly like factory workers place. It's grub. You can get grub, but you can't get nice food in a nice restaurant, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I think since we've decided to move this away from the rough and tumble, Edema would shoot a quick message out to Boko and say, "Hey, we're going to bite here. You're welcome if you don't have anything going on. But if you're busy, that's cool too."
I think Boko is gonna be busy.
Okay. Cool.
oh.
Yeah, I think I got something.
Okay. Awesome.
Cool, cool. You could go to the inverted fork where you've been before.
Oh
You
man.
could go to IHOF if you want to.
IHOF.
That's the Intergalactic House of Flat Cakes, which we've visited before. I believe it's on the locations tab in the Gatekeeper. Somewhere there is.
Yeah, it's under locations. I see that.
Yeah. It's a place where they went to. Oh, sorry, it's just the logo. Do you have a?
I'm desperately looking for the logo where I stuck it in my
Oh,
imager
sorry.
files.
The logo is there. The location is there. There's an image of the location as
Oh,
well.
okay, good. I did stick it
on-
there.
I-10 is the image of the location itself. The logo is the next row of things. Anyway, yeah, IHOF. Yeah, Betty. She's got a couple of bruises, but she looks good. And she orders up a big stack of flat cakes. She's hungry. That's clear. And she, I just had a workout. Gotta fill up.
Eat all you want. It's good to see you. It's been a long time. This is my good buddy Bade.
Yeah,
I think Bade is busy ordering like some drink and that kind of stuff to make sure we're whining and dining Betty a little bit. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Betty, she's in the NPCs tab B20. And she's good to see you, Etma. It's been too long. You've been so busy with all this. Your other work, I know we don't need to go into detail unless you want
It's
to.
really cool detail. If you would just let me tell you about all the crimes we've committed.
Yeah, I think I'm better off not knowing.
I won't argue that point.
There's been actually just the other day there were some street sec goons that came around to the gym where I train, and I snuck out the back. So
Okay.
But
Hey,
no,
if you got their idents or anything, I'll take care of it.
Yeah, I don't. I didn't see them. I just thought someone said they were there, and I made myself scarce.
Yeah, that's smart. Just
Steve?
as for Bade, well, more for Steven than Bade. Betty, someone leaned on and then roughed up Betty, a street sec person, and Edema asked Betty to finger the guy to her, and then she proceeded to hunt the guy down and murder him savagely. So that's what Edema means when she says, if you get their idents, I'll take care of it.
And I think, Bade, clueless about all of that, is like, yeah, my girl Edema, she messed some guys up, some Corsac up just, last week. And yeah, it's payback. Maybe it was one of those.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
might
know.
be my fault.
I don't want to get dragged into that again if I can.
You've got a fight game to concentrate on.
Yeah, I've been doing really well. You know Skirbo, the hot guy. He's I'm on the big event in a couple of weeks.
I gotta get
like
tickets.
main event. I'm not the main match, but I'm in one of the early matches. It's gonna be really cool.
That's amazing. I'm coming to watch you. That's great.
Cool. I'll get your ticket.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you run any trouble or whatever, let me know. but yeah, I want to
no.
come see.
No, other than those Corsac guys sniffing around, everything's great. It's yeah. I met someone actually. One of the guys I train with is he's cool. You'd like him.
He treats you okay?
Yeah. You know me. I wouldn't hang out with someone who
Right. You can take care of yourself. Sorry. Yeah. No, I just, oh, good. I look over nervously at Bade, like apologies of, oh, sorry.
Oh, and Bade's just busy enjoying herself, losing herself in food and drink. And, was trying to I'm gonna go ahead and spend a credit, just to make sure we have enough stuff around here. And if I'm not mistaken, Rich, didn't you send out this map with like this is Etima's corner?
Yeah, I think so.
So I think we're just kind of making sure that everybody knows that we're doing well up here, and they're bringing us maybe treats and that kind of stuff.
I don't think you need to spend a cred on that mechanically. It's I mean, this is part of your downtime is just spending the like the creds are the real money that you save and can spend for important reasons, and but you have enough to live a little. If that's, if that makes sense.
The reason I was talking about that is I just wanted to make sure we lived it up enough. One of my vices is pleasure, which is just enjoying a nice bath or a bottle of wine or a nice smoke or a good hand of sabak or something like that. It's a little bit more on the simple side than, getting super stoned or going to a brothel or something like that. But do I need to spend a credit for that?
I don't think so.
No, you just roll to indulge, right?
Okay.
Yeah. If you wanted to do an extra action, like an extra downtime action, then fictionally that could be the thing. But normally you don't need to spend creds to do your normal stuff.
Okay.
It's part of it's part of the background money you have for your lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to go to a really fancy place, then yeah, that maybe that would require you to spend a credit. But since you're at a low lifestyle level, but
we're at IHOF. Yeah,
where you're an IHOF. Here you can lay it on without it really costing you anything.
Okay.
So that would be your second downtime action in that case.
Yeah.
One for healing and one for indulging your vice. And
you roll your lowest stat, which mine is my resolve, which is a 1. So I'll roll that.
You roll a 6.
I did.
Which means you overindulge.
Which means I overindulged.
Yeah.
So let me look at that list.
That's just funny. Overindulging on flat cakes. Yeah.
So I kind of like attract trouble. It says roll.
Roll or pick an additional entanglement. And I think just to make it easy, let me check your current heat is 0. So let's look on the table for heat 0. Entanglements, gang trouble, or the usual suspects, rivals or avenger.
So I was thinking we could do something related to Betty. Could Betty have some kind of issue that she needs help with, or could we cause an issue that we need to help Betty with?
I think what happens is that because you're in the foundry, a couple of Corsac officers show up, and start, and they're like scanning the place. You spot them, obviously, and Betty decides to make herself scarce. And when she's trying to get away, she bumps into the second patrol that's coming through the other entrance. And they grab her, and that's what's happening. You can deal with this. We can play this out, what happens. Or we can go to the mechanics where you can just bribe them with a cred, or however you want to handle it.
Oh, well, is this, it's Bade's fallout? Is Edema aware? Because Edema will definitely pay that cred, but I don't want to overstep bounds.
So I would definitely pay the cred in order to buy them off. I wanted to remind you that I was ID'd by the Corsec from my records when I was hacking stuff, so I'm on their radar. And you know, I probably look at Etma and say, do you want to start a fight? Because you know, she's not really, she likes fighting. But I'm more than willing to pay the cred and just move on. Yeah. And we can actually,
if they're here for Betty,
yeah,
then a cred's the only way to make them go away.
Okay. Yeah, so let me do that then.
I mean, you can, if we're doing the mechanical thing, since we're playing this out as a scene, if you fight them, then you don't have to pay the cred to like rescue her from them, but that's going to have other consequences.
So I think Bade actually walks over and starts to pay the cred, but whatever Etma wants to do is fine.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Etma knows that Bade, even if Bade is kind of on their radar, Bade isn't a known face the way Etma is. If Etma steps up to them, then it's much more likely that they will ID her right away, and they will start a fight, or try to arrest her, which would be the same thing. But Bade can probably get away with trying to resolve the issue in a friendly manner.
These are imps, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're not giving them any credits. Edema will stroll up as Edema just said, hey, we need to pay him off. She's going to be a little reckless and stride up to a couple of them. She's not going to draw a blaster. She's not going to start a fight with them right away. Like she wants them to come after her. And she's, oh, you got to pick on that human? Come on. Why don't you take on a big challenge?
Why are you interfering in state sector business? Right? Is that? And one of them goes for his blaster. One of them goes for his blaster, and the other starts to pull his stun baton because they clearly recognize it.
Sweet. Let's throw down.
And I Bade kind of backs off, like is handing the credit over and is like, oh crap, what's going on, and kind of backs off and is like,
yeah, because you're used to solving problems with streets like that way because they're super corrupt. You can just here's just look the other way, but they're clearly in for Etma. They got it in for her. So Etma, they're starting to draw weapons. There's not a lot of people here. You're here at a like a since you're criminals, you don't keep like normal 9 to 7, 9 to 5 times. So you're here at there's not a lot of other patrons here, but there are some people in here. So what do you do?
One of them's got a blaster, so I think they just took it to that level with Bade like right there and able to watch. I think she's gonna throw down, like pull. Of course, the blaster pistol sideways because that looks cooler.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill a couple of guys. So it sounds like.
Yeah, I think you're in a risky position. It sounds like you want to skirmish.
Yeah, I do. I'm pretty good at it. I
Mhm.
want to skirmish. Risky skirmish. I've got 3 dots. You got a. Oh no.
Devil's
This is
bargain?
smart. This is smart. I'm gonna push myself. Yeah. Let's see. What's the thing? Yeah. I'm gonna push myself. So that costs me 2 stress, which means I won't be stressing out. Yay! And that'll give myself
Yeah, you can-
a 4th die. Here we go. So sorry, by the way, Steven, for saying, oh, we should pay them off and then starting a fight. I apologize for the.
Oh, not at all. No.
Yeah, I should type SEC for street sec, not another letter. That is a 6.
Nice. So a 6, you do it. Yeah, you plug 2 of them. The other 2, they're down. You're not sure if they're out, if they're dead, but they drop. One of the others pulls his blaster and starts to return fire. And the last one has grabbed Betty and is kind of using her as a shield as he's backing towards the exit. Bade, how do you react to all this?
Yeah, so I think I go screaming like the rest of the patrons. And so that they're like, I think they're all scattering and it's all panicked and everything. And I scream and I start running with them, but I'm running towards the one that has Betty. And as I scream past him, I'm gonna, jump him.
Ooh,
Let's see.
what do you
I
want
think
to roll for that?
this is probably gonna be Prowl, I think.
How it can work as an ambush sort of thing?
Yeah, so as I run past, I think I'm gonna just try and my intention is not necessarily to, hurt him, but to get Betty free so she can run with me.
Yeah, so
So let's
are
see.
you kind of like faking bumping into him, or are you like full on tackling him, or
I think it's running behind him, running away, getting behind him, and then, shanking him from behind so he will let her go and turn around. Yeah.
ooh,
That's
so
badass. I love
there's a
it.
knife in play.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And do you have a
Nice.
devil's bargain?
Ooh, smart.
Ooh, devil's bargain. Do you have a suggestion?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is I could shank Betty and mistakenly shank her instead, but that would happen, right? Let's see. And I think we're in enough trouble. I could just push myself.
I mean, I'll give, if you want a devil's bargain, we will come up with one. I don't want to deny you that you
You could
the
progress
XP.
one of the clocks.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll put a tick on the. Actually, I think my offer would be 2 ticks on the Street Side Questions, the Cruise Known Associates Club.
Oh, yeah.
They will step up their efforts to find people.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Cool. 2 tick,
Uh,
you get an extra die. So you have. What does that leave you with? 2 dice?
2d6. 2 dice. So let me roll that. Ooh, and I got a 6.
6. Yeah. You get up behind this guy, you stab him, he cries out, he lets Betty go, she darts out. She's not afraid of a fight, but she's not a shooting fight kind of person. And her instinct is to get away from these cops. One of the one who's left is trying to shoot at him up. What do you? I think you have to. I think he's going to shoot you unless you resist it.
I think I'd like to resist it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a thing. We have a smugglers, like our crew has a thing. We have a thing on resistance.
Yeah. You have 4
Plus
to
one.
fire. You get +1 die to resistance roll straight up.
Okay, cool. Then I'm rolling a lot of dice to resist. Total of 5 actually.
Yeah.
Wow, 3 5s. Just meant to be a 5.
Yeah. So you take 1 stress.
I'm gonna stress myself out. This is amazing.
Yeah. What does it look like when you're dodging these shots? And then I think you two together can take him out without too much trouble. Or he's going to actually let me put a pin in that. Let me just hear what it looks like when
I think Edema moves quick, but the reason she takes some stress is that when she dodges out of the way, that old wound that she's never gotten healed, the blaster hit on her hip and her side, like there's a moment where she winces a little bit, but the blaster bolt didn't actually hit her because it would have done a lot of damage.
So he shoots like a couple of mirrors on the wall behind you, leaves some blaster burns there. Then he notices that his partner is down, and obviously the 2 from the other patrol. He looks at you for a moment, and then he just starts. He fires a couple more blasts, and then he just turns and starts to run. What do you two do?
You okay?
Yeah. Let's get out of here.
Hold on a second. I gotta check. Does Bade have a street name? Oh, it's just Pledge. You okay, Pledge? And then yeah, I was gonna bring in your cool street name, but you don't have one. I'm going after him. Like he can't know. They can't know who did this. I'll kind of say that. I gotta finish this.
Bates like, no, it's okay. I can't change your mind.
And Bade, you realize that this means making sure that the people who are down in here, those 2, are also dead, which you're not sure of right now.
Yeah, but I think Etem is awesome, and I think I have to prove it. So I think I'm going to walk over and I'm going to kill them in cold blood. The ones that are down, I'm going to make sure they stay down. But I make sure Etem sees it.
Nice.
Yeah, Etema, he's full on running out of there. How do you just shoot him in the back, or
Yeah,
what do you do?
I mean, yeah, sure. He doesn't deserve
Cool.
anything more. Just shoot him in the back.
Mm-hmm.
These aren't people, they're cops. They're street sec.
Yeah. You're still in a risky position, I think, because it's a kind of chaotic situation.
This is a terrible idea. It's very reckless of me, I say, hoping that I can justify it later.
Can I assist? And I think that, as the guard's running away, he looks back over at his shoulder, and he sees Etema kind of bearing down on him, but he also sees me making sure that all the rest of them his buddies are being taken care of.
All right.
Yeah, cool. Like that.
Got it. Wait, I may have gone 1 too many dice. Hold on. Skirmish 3, help of 1. I did go 1 too many dice. Okay, I did 1 too many dice. I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay. I didn't have time to see what you rolled.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's a crit.
That is a critical.
Yeah. He turns to run, and you just shoot him right in the neck. He drops dead. No save. That he's just out.
Okay. And I think the look that Edema gives Bade is like respect. Like she doesn't say it, but it's a look of like, yeah, we did that. Yeah. That's the thing we did together.
And the camera sees, that look of respect, but the camera also sees like Bade shaking a little bit. That trying to, and I think Bade's gonna go over and make this look like a robbery gone bad. So she's gonna like take money out of the
just-
till and all that.
Sorry, one thing before that. Bade, you went to finish off the two that Etema dropped. The
Yeah.
one that you shanked, he's not dead yet. He's like crawling backwards on his back towards the door.
You don't need to do this. I won't tell anything. I promise. I promise.
And I think that Bade looks at him and then looks back at Etema, and Etema's watching, and then shanks him anyway.
Yeah, all the other patrons have cleared out, and the staff as well. They're not hanging around for this. So making this look like a robbery gone wrong, that's not difficult. You can spread some coin around, that sort of thing, trash the tail, and it's fine. I think you can even grab a crab here if you want.
Edema wouldn't, but I know Bade has.
Oh yeah,
different.
Bade would
proclivities.
definitely Bade would take a cred and would probably stick, a cred and the guy who was crawling away, so it looked like he had turned on his buddies or something like that. Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, so it looks like the cops were the one robbing the place. Oh, nice.
That's
knows,
all.
maybe.
Oh, Edema will come over as you're doing that. Oh, Bade, that is. You are really good. You're good at this. You were born for this.
You got to learn. Grew up on the streets.
Mm. Nice.
Yeah, I think since you have the cleaner's special ability, this means you won't take any heat for this. There's no evidence that you were the ones who did this. The patrons were all they were all confused and scared. They can't give any clear statements, and you made it look like the cops were doing something they shouldn't have been caught doing, which means StreetSec want to dig too deep into it.
Wow, everything's coming up Bade. I love it.
Yeah. We've been going for an hour and a half already. So I think we should take a break and let. Yeah. So we've handled Bade's two downtime actions and downtime activities. Boko, what are you up to while Etema and Bade are having a night out on the town?
What does Boko know about the Anathem?
About the
Anathem?
Anathem.
The Inquisitor?
You know that he's an Imperial Inquisitor, and that's about it. You know that Inquisitors are scary Force users.
Mm-hmm.
They primarily hunt down other Force users who don't want to join the Empire.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know much about Anathem in particular. He hasn't been on 1313, or at least this part of 1313, very long. It's not like you have your local friendly Inquisitor hanging around. It's
right.
They move around a lot. There's not that many of them that they can like stay on even a particular planet for very long.
Cool. I would like to try something with Morn, and try to indulge some of my weird Force artifact stuff for Vice. I'm going to bring this idea to Morn and see what he thinks about it. I would like to I don't think we can take a chunk off the artifact, but if he can rig up something that kind of like gives the same Force signature as the artifact or something like that, ask him if he can wrangle up something like that. And of course, I'm my limited insight is open for that.
Cool.
Or
Yeah.
attune.
you can try to spoof whatever it is that Anathem is using to sense
Yeah.
or detect where the artifact is. Yeah, cool. I would handle this, I think, like a I think we could do it like a reduced heat action, but what it instead of reducing heat, it's removing ticks from the clock on
Oh, okay.
Anathem's stuff. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't intending any mechanical effect, just to taunt him a little bit, but that's great too. I'll take it. Yeah, I love it.
Cool, cool. So yeah, Morn is back in his probably the first time he's back, or I don't
He was driving
remember
this
if we.
GIF that I jumped onto.
Yeah. I was thinking. I think it's the first time he's back at the headquarters since he drifted off into his religious esoteric studies.
Yeah.
So you've moved things around a bit.
We're gonna need to make some space for some new folks coming in, I think.
Oh, you're recruited.
Yeah. If you have your eye on anyone, let us know and we'll check them out.
I don't think the people I'm spending time with these days are into this sort of thing.
That's fine. You never know. You can. I'm sure you'll know when you see them what's in their heart.
Yeah. So you want to do something with the artifact, and I think he's kind of not quite touching it, but like drawing his hand along it, and you can tell that he's using his force sensitivity or connection to the force to it's bigger.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if I was imagining that, but I think it is.
I haven't noticed any power surges like before.
That's good. I was thinking maybe we could make one. Maybe go down to the docks, throw a little decoy onto a ship, maybe distract some folks for a while.
Oh, interesting. That's it's an intriguing challenge. And he immediately starts tinkering. He starts moving everything around in the workshop.
Yeah, make yourself at home. It's good to be back.
Yeah, hold this and yeah. So I think you will make the roll,
Okay.
but you'll get an extra die for more helping you. Does that seem fair?
Yeah. What am I rolling here? This is just a tune.
Tune could work, could be Tinker, but I think you prefer.
Yeah, probably do. Yeah, and I want to try to work this for my weird vice. The whole
cool.
So getting back in touch with Morn and helping him unlock some stuff if possible.
Yeah.
Or at least feel like I am.
Yeah, cool. So you get an extra die for Morn helping you.
Cool. Sweet. 2 days is good. Let's see how it goes. There we go.
6. Nice. That's 3. That's 3. So 3 ticks off the clock.
Awesome. Yeah, I think after we put it together, maybe we take a little ride across town, down and it's a little bit tense because we're going through the foundry and then through Sec right by the garrison, and like heading over to the docks and probably like, I don't know, just like hanging out behind a shipping container or something, and we have to like do a little bit of reaching out with the thing. And I think I'm specifically trying to like reach out and be like, hey, Inquisitor, if you're looking for someone, here's where I am, and I've got what you're looking for, and we're getting off of this world, so come after us. And just like seeing how that goes out, if any.
Yeah, nice.
And I don't know if I actually have any force sensitivity or anything, but that's what I'm visualizing that happening.
Yeah. Cool. And Moran has this. It's like a miniature version. Looks like a miniature version of the artifact, but it's hooked up to his weird tech things.
Nice.
And I think it's like you're both holding it and channeling whatever force abilities you have into this thing, if you have any. But whatever it is, there's this like blue crackling glow around it, and then now we just toss it on that ship, that one.
Yeah,
looks good.
Toss it in a hold. Bon voyage.
Yeah, cool. So I think, okay, so I'm not sure. Is this your indulge vice
Yes,
thing as
yeah.
well?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's definitely one of your downtime activities. Let's do the vice roll. I think that
we got 3 across the board, so that's
yeah, cool.
Whew. I'll take 5. It's good.
5, nice. I'd like to ask your opinions on this, the rules thing. Should this count as your second downtime activity as well? Because
it could be, yeah.
Of,
yeah, I'm okay with that.
Cool.
And I've got a cred to spend to go hang out with Celine a little bit if I want to do that.
Yeah, I think that I'm not sure if it's entirely fair.
I think this was all one activity.
Yeah.
So to me, this seems like one activity that hit, reducing the clock as well as your stress relief. You're weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm okay either way.
Yeah, I think you should get another free. I don't want to charge you for this, even if it's just an extra thing you get for your downtime activity. I think that's
I accept.
That seems more. I don't want to be stingy with your mechanical things.
Cool. And that's probably taking all night, and that's what we are doing instead of like when I get the call from Edema, I'm like, we're like at the dock doing our. I'm like busy right now. No distractions, please. We're tuning with the force. Excuse me.
Yeah. I figure you'll all meet up back at the headquarters probably. Or did you want to actually let's how do you reach out to Celine?
I think maybe it makes sense to talk with folks when we get back after all our shenanigans.
Yeah, cool.
And they know who Celine is. I'll probably talk about her. So I'll be like, look, we busted this dirty cop out of trouble. She took the heat for us after the prison break, or the transport break. I mean, she's a piece of shit, but maybe that's good for us. If we're looking for some more people, we have some leverage on her. I think she might make a good addition to the crew.
Just so I'm clear, Boko, do you want her on the crew, or do you just want to criff her?
I mean, if we use her in a job and something happens to her, like, I'm not emotionally attached. I think she'd be a good asset, not one of the family.
Okay. Okay. I'm good with it. I trust your judgment. Proven that you have us on the right level. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you
And
think
I
her
don't know where she
loyalty?
is. I'll go for it.
Do you think her loyalty would be towards us or towards Corsac? Because Corsac, we're at war. I mean, they're coming after us. I mean,
Mhm.
Ultima just killed like a dozen of them. So
Well done.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I'm just saying
Didn't get
that
any?
they're going to be coming after us. So, do you trust this woman?
No, not even a little bit.
So how do we know she's not going to lead them right to us?
I've got leverage on her. She owes us, and we've got a history. She doesn't like me. I don't like her. I feel like that's better than trust. And we don't have to put faith in anyone. We know
Yeah,
this is just business.
but maybe we don't trust her. Like maybe she doesn't have a place here with the rest of the crew or something
Oh,
like
I don't
that.
trust her at all. No. And if I don't know what her current relationship is with the cops who just put her away for a minute, if she's still working there, maybe she can be an inside. Or if she's not, she's probably pissed at him. So
that
she's
that sounds like an asset that's worth the risk. Is if she can give us some info on them.
Yeah.
Let me throw in a couple of things here. You know that she's in with the Hut Cartel. So if she's leaving StreetSec, she's more likely to go over to them, join up there. On the other hand, if you want the Hut Cartel or someone in the Hut Cartel to be your new patron, then she could definitely be like your go-between there, and functionally be part of your crew that way.
That might be good. Yeah. Are we on board with this? If not, I'm happy to just go kill her. I was ready to push her off of that. She got the better of me with the little grab shoot thing, but if she wound up a spatter on the ground, I wouldn't have minded. Your call. And this is a consensus. Like, if one of you is not down with it, I'm ready to go put a blaster bolt through her head right now.
Bade looks over at Etima, taking your cue.
Be ashamed to lose somebody you have leverage on. And if she's in with the cartel, we've been talking about working with them a little bit more. So I think lean that way, like you said.
And you know that the Hut Cartel and Black Sun, they do not get along. And since you're not too friendly with Black Sun, that being friendly with the Hut Cartel could be useful. And the Hut Cartel also is unhappy with the garrison because they did some raids on the Hut Cartel and took them down a peg a couple of years back. So that could help with your war there as well.
That sounds great to me.
And just to be clear, I'm not trying to push you in that direction. I just want to so that you see all the angles. On the other hand, it means that you may be even worse out with Black Sun because that would give them even more reason to go after.
We good? All right, I'll set up a meeting.
Good.
Cool. And I think we want to let Kai weigh in on this as well, at least.
Yeah.
So I don't think we make a final decision now,
Yeah.
but that's absolutely some way you can do. So do you seek out, sorry, or did you want to play out more of that scene? I don't want to.
So mechanically, how would it work? Is that that's not acquiring an asset, right? Because that's a temporary thing.
Yeah,
Is it a long-term project, or is it just
I don't think
a role?
I don't think we need to mechanize this too much.
Okay, cool.
I think this is more like the free play part of it.
Mhm.
Like you go talk to her, ask her to set up a meeting. She gets you a meeting. I mean, it's more just a fictional thing. It will take a bit of time, that sort of thing.
Cool.
But if
Well,
you want to play,
I have a mechanical question.
Yep.
Mechanically, what does it take to include another cohort on the crew?
you can do that. You can do it with advances.
Okay.
You can spend advances on it, but you can also do it through fictional things. It's probably a long-term project.
Okay.
And how long the clock is would depend on things.
Okay.
Cool.
And theoretically, I think it could happen as the result of something obvious in the fiction if it makes sense for someone to become part of the crew.
Cool. Yeah, so I think Boko puts out a call, like says, hey, I have an offer for you. I know that the office is hell right now, so
Yeah, and it
maybe
doesn't
we could talk
help
about
me
other.
when a wanted criminal calls me on my private comms.
Oh, I'm sorry.
know,
Was I just in jail, or were you just in jail?
Yeah, I was in jail, and I'm very grateful for you getting
Oh, did you
me
pay
out of
your way
there.
out, or did a wanted criminal pay your way out?
A wanted criminal is talking to me right now on my comms
Oh.
that could be tapped. I don't
Oh,
know.
is a wanted criminal working with the Huts, or are you working with the Huts?
Oh, please stop.
Maybe this
What
is a
do you
conversation we
want?
can have in person then, instead of over a
Yes,
secure
please.
line. All right.
Just
I'm going to
give
bring
me a
some
time
people
and place.
along just because, you know, our history. And I give her like a place to meet. And like we'll do that next time, downtime or something.
Okay, cool.
Just so everyone can be there.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, and I'll like hang her out to dry a little bit. Like, oh yeah, like we're not meeting right now. We're gonna meet in, you know, a week or a few days or whatever, and then like just hang up.
Nice. Yeah, you're very mean to her. I like it.
Yeah, she's not nice.
Cool.
Um,
So we have about an hour left. Mechanically, we have Etna hasn't done any of her downtime actions. Boko has done one. Do you guys want to do anything about that? Do you want to do something together?
yeah, that'd be fun.
Oh, yeah. Interested. What does Boko want to do to blow off some steam?
Like Poco has a little bit of a glow around him, like he just got like really well taken care of. But he's been out with Morn all night, so who knows what's going on there. So I'm like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. If y'all just want to have some fun, I'm down for whatever. What's fun for you, Edema?
Well, there's thoughts. I think here we go. Edema is just this open. She's, you know, you know that Bria slept with that guy, right? The Mark.
Which one?
This is Rich feeling like Edema laser focused on person that slept with, but I think it was a cop. Like she hooked up with a.
There was a guy
right,
who
right.
had the blueprints you needed when you were going into the sewers, I think.
Yeah. It was the human who had blueprints. She probably could have done a dozen different things, but they had sex. We had a fight about it. I guess it was a fight. Yeah, it was. I mean, it wasn't a punching fight, so that's why I'm a little not sure.
You want to pay him a visit?
Oh, I was just going to sleep with someone else, but yeah, killing him sounds good.
Yeah.
You can always do both, right?
Ooh. Edema does have
I don't.
thighs.
I
Yeah.
draw the line at dead bodies made. You're a little too intense, honestly.
And she gets that, Bade gets that look of like embarrassment, like, oh, I overstepped my bounds, sorry.
I don't sleep with dead bodies, okay? I don't care what you've heard.
You know where we can find this guy?
No.
Because if you don't, I could probably do some digging.
Yeah. Let's dig into it.
Yeah.
I don't think she's gonna sleep with him again, though, probably.
Oh no, she's not.
I mean, even if I didn't kill him.
Yeah, but
let's just do it. Word will get out, right? Although she's pretty discreet. So should we put the word out that this is why the guy's dead? I don't know. I'm not usually a jealous person. I'm trying it out.
Does it matter to you?
I guess the warning's really for Bria not to stray. It seems like a bad idea all around. Let's do it.
She's smart. She'll put it together.
Okay. She is sharpest cookie around.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna hunt this guy then. take what I know and do a little hunt roll on him. He is a cop, so I can probably hit another. Can I lean on what's his name?
Hi.
Curleg, yeah.
Yeah, hi Curleg.
And this guy that you're going after, is that Tribbery?
That name sounds familiar. Yeah, I think it was Tribbery.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Tribbery Horvath. He doesn't have a picture, but his name is on the Imperials line. Yeah. I think you have his name from before, so it's probably not hard to find him, but let's make a hunt roll to see if you more to see how long it takes.
Yeah. That's just 3 dice straight up. I think I'm fine with that.
You think? But don't you have an ability?
Oh yeah. I have +1 effect with Scout.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. Hunting. 2, 3 dice. 4.
Cool. So there's probably some kind of computation, or it takes you a while.
Yeah.
I think it's going to take you a couple of days. Does Etema stick with this plan, or you change your mind or just do something else in the
if it takes Boko a few days, then then I think we said do both. So Edema will just go out and not hunt down, but go find gotta find her name, the sex worker that Zabrek that she slept with before, who is Anissa. Yeah, I'll head to Amar's, the brothel above Bright Market, above a bar in Bright Market, and go indulge in a vice.
Hmm.
That'll show her. I don't think Adam has ever cared about this kind of stuff before, so she realizes how dumb this is as she's doing it. Yep.
Do you tell Amara that you're there because you want to punish your ex-girlfriend, or
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like the right way to do it. If you're gonna make a stink about it, then you should make sure people know. Right, Amar?
Oh yeah, yeah. You're not the only one who comes here for that. You want me to come around? You come visit.
To what? You want me to what?
I mean, if you really want to rub it in her face, I could come over to your place.
Oh, thanks, but I'm really not interested in you
Oh, okay.
at
Okay.
all.
No, I thought I mean professionally. You
No,
could pay me to pretend to be your
Oh,
girlfriend.
no. See, this is probably going to break Bria and I up. So I want to actually sleep with someone I'm attracted to. So Anissa sounds good. But thanks, Amar. You can go.
Yeah, cool. Make a roll.
Okay. Then I will make
I
the
hope
roll.
that
So
wasn't over the line for anyone.
no, that was
That
great.
you-
I love
you
it. I
roast.
loved that so 100%. It was fantastic. So I take my lowest attribute to recover stress and my lowest attribute, those are the three, insight, prowess, and resolve, is a 3.
Yeah.
So let's see how that goes. And I think the Anissa thing, like Edema grew up doing this. And so I think it's just all about enjoying themselves. There's no pain, no dominance play. It's just,
Mhm.
yeah, cordial.
Just a good time.
Yeah, a good time.
That's
Wow,
nice.
I rolled a critical success. What does that even mean?
I think
Or does it mean anything?
I don't think it means anything here. Let me check just in case.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about critical.
Yeah, let's move on while I check.
Okay. Cool. So I recover 6 stress. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Cool. That's one of your downtime actions.
My second downtime action is real easy. I wanted to deal with the scouts that are trying to find our location and try to reduce that clock.
Cool. I think that how do you want to do that?
I mean, wait until they're far away from where we are and kill some of them?
Yeah, I'm not sure that's going to help
Okay.
them not find you.
Okay. I just figured if there were no scouts alive, then they can't find you. But you may have a point.
But there are more scouts, you know.
I mean, all of these words are true. Then
Steal one of their speeder bikes and drive it into the Rand.
Babe, listen, I wanted to get the heat off of us from those speeder bikes all the time.
Yeah.
And how should I do that? What do you think, babe?
Well,
I was going to go murder a few of them, but they always have reinforcements. So,
well, you could, if you can reduce their number to 0, like you said, that's an option. Another option is to make sure that they're too busy to look for us. So, could you change their focus to another gang, or maybe make the security go after them? Oh,
Make this security
if I'd
go
known it,
after
we could have left something at that, place and made it look like, they had taken out the security people, and then they had the
Right.
Corsair could go after them, but something like that. Maybe we could just make it look really bad for them.
Oh, you're,
Who do
you're
we
so tricky, Bade.
who do we
Hmm.
want to point them at?
I mean, the Black Sun will be the best because we hate the Black Sun. I mean, I hate the Black Sun.
Well,
if you like them, that's fine, but you can't work for them. So just a FYI.
no, it's fine. So I don't think we can point the scouts at the Black Sun, because there's no way they're that stupid. Okay, they could be that stupid, but
Probably, yeah, you're right. You're right.
maybe we need to point the Black Sun at the scouts. And if the Black Sun keeps them real busy,
Yeah. I'll do that. How do I do that?
Cool. So do you what's the plan?
so as Etima says, how do I do that? Bates says, well, if it was me, I'd steal something that Black Sun wants and make sure that, the scouts end up with it. But I don't think that's something that is serious enough for you.
I could steal one of the scout speeder bikes and then make a run on some Black Suns.
Or you could grab one of the Black Sun members and make it look like it was the scouts who took them or who did them in. I mean, you're good at killing.
You're not wrong. That is right in my wheelhouse. I have a very small wheelhouse, but that's in there. That's good. Okay,
But
so
the trick
I'm gonna.
the trick is making sure that Black Sun thinks that it's the scouts who killed him.
Yep. Yeah. Okay, I can do that.
So that means you can't be as good at killing. You can only be as good at killing as the scouts are.
This on purpose. Oh, it's so annoying. Okay, you're right though. I'm gonna have to shoot around the person a few times before I kill them. Okay, yeah, thanks. That works.
You can get one of their blasters.
Yeah. One of those little snub nosy. Those are cute, by the way. Really, adorable. It's no wonder they can't hit the broadside of
Now,
Bantha on that.
Now, Antima, if you like them, even if you think they're cute, you can't keep it. Once you shoot the Black Sun person, you've got to ditch that gun, because otherwise they'll connect it to you. So yeah.
Oh, it's true. I don't need a scout bike pistol. You're right. I do not need.
You could steal two, keep one, and leave one with the body.
Boko, you're good. You're really good. I like you. Like probably more than I should. And then she heads out. Okay, 2 scout bike pistols, kill a Black Sun, leave a pistol, finger the got it.
Cool. So I think we'll set this up as another clock, as a long-term project.
God. And the long-term project of Edema doing this thing while at the same time the scouts find us. Like, it sucks. I'm worried that they're gonna find us, but I mean, what are we gonna do when they find us? We just kill them, I guess, but still she's scared.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is that it's not the scouts, they're not the problem. If they figure out roughly where you are, then the garrison can come looking with like 30, 40 stormtroopers.
Right,
and that's not the
enforce
fight you want to have.
ATSTs and
Yeah.
that mess. And so
those TIE fighters they have for backup, and it's going to be a whole thing.
Could I avoid the long-term clock if I just called in a marker with the what's the name of the crew, this down below us that helped us out. Oh, we've
Oh,
called in a
the
lot of
tunnel
markers.
rats.
Yeah. What if I bribe them to like lead these scout bikers astray?
I think, yeah, you could do that. Then you're leaving it up to some kind of fortune roll on their part to see what happens. I think the way I'm thinking about this now I'm thinking about it mechanically
Mhm.
is we'd set up if you were doing it yourself, we'd set up a long-term project. If that finishes before they find your base, then your plan works. They get distracted and they're not working on looking for you anymore. They're too busy with something else. So they'd have to start over or do something else.
Oh, that
Or
does sound good. Okay. Or
yeah, or if you want to pawn it off on the tunnel rats, then they probably I would do some kind of it would take a bit of time. We'd do some kind of fortune roll, and that would remove ticks from their clock. I'm not sure what the best way is. Or we set up a long-term project, but they're the ones working on it. Like I roll their tier or something to see how well they work on it. But you'd have to feed them credits to keep working on it probably, or do some favors for them or something.
yeah.
Kind of I think you've probably tapped your goodwill with them. You've asked them for help a couple of times.
You'd literally said we used up those markers, so
Yeah.
I actually had remembered after. I'm gonna go with scout bike plan then. Let's put some ticks on that clock. Let's do it.
Cool. Do you want that clock on your character sheet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
If that's cool with you. How many ticks does she have?
Ooh, let's see. So the plan is you're going to steal scout biker guns, or at least one. You're going to kill some Black Sun, find a suitable Black Sun target and kill them, and make sure that they think it's the stormtroopers who did it.
Yep. And then step 4, profit.
Yeah, profit. That sounds like it's at least a 6-tick clock. I think
That seems fair.
It's enough for there are enough steps there that you need to work on it.
Okay. So it'll be love it. That is a fun clock for me to fill. Oh crap, I need to do that on a 6 thing.
Yeah, you already have a 6 going. You can copy that one.
I'll just copy the 6 and I'll wait. I'll copy the 6, not the title, and then there we go.
So, Mark, did you have an idea about what you were going to do for your downtime? Do you have another downtime left?
I do have another downtime. I think mechanically, I'm going to train, make it easy. Still want to kill that guy though, just for fun. Maybe as a present for Edema.
She would be into it.
Oh, maybe that's the payback.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So let's have Etema make her role for working on this long-term project.
I think I'm hunting for this first thing, right?
Yeah.
Does that feel right?
Sounds fair. Yeah.
I mean, if you were thinking a different
No, I
action.
hadn't started thinking about it.
Okay.
But hunt sounds suitable.
And I think since Bade gave you some advice about like this is how you'd steal this stuff and make it look like that, I'll I can spend a stress to help.
I mean, I'll take it.
Sure.
See how it goes. Oh, a 6. That's 3 ticks,
Nice.
right?
Pretty sure. Yeah. 6 is 3 ticks.
I think I've got a couple of scout bike pistoles.
Yeah, you've got the pistols, and you've found the safe house where they held Thierry. I think you found like a really scummy bar nearby, where you've seen some people who seem like they could be Black Sun. So you can find a target there.
Cool. It feels like halfway through. Thank you.
Excellent. So Boko, you wanted to train by killing a guy.
Yeah, I think so. I'll put those 2 ticks in insight. That makes sense. Boom, boom. Yeah. So track down the guy after a couple days.
Yeah, it's not hard finding out where you already know where he lives, as long as you're willing to ask Bria anyway, or like
just casual conversation. Just
yeah. And he lives in, I believe he lived in Sexek. So it's not a safe place to kill someone. And he lived at like the 10th floor on a big apartment complex sort of thing. But you know, he works, he goes out. It's not difficult to find an opportunity. It's just it's risky to execute because he doesn't leave Sexek much. So yeah. But what do you do when you kill him?
So yeah, I find him probably like going to or coming home, probably coming home from going out. If he was at a bar or a club or something, and just probably not too close to where he lives. But I think I just track him from the rooftops pretty much, and then when I'm like, cool, he's getting to a less unsafe place, drop down and just slit his throat from behind. Bye bye knife time.
Yeah, and doing that, this is the thing you do, and he's not. This is not something he's trained to expect. So executing that is not a problem, but getting out of there, that could be that could be a different thing.
Okay.
So I think I'd like to see a role for what you do when you
probably prowl, I guess.
Prowl works if you're sneaking around, like doing the rooftop thing.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. When he goes down, I take 2 things. I take an ident card as a present, and I take whatever his phone communicator transponder thing is.
He's got a comms unit.
Yeah.
Of some kind.
And I just dial Celine's private number, put it back in his pocket, and let it ring, and walk away. So there's a log of a call to her. Last thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Prowl. Devil's Bargain.
Oh yeah. I think just. Oh wait, let me check the law. Something there. Yeah, 2 more ticks on the question your known associates, because that's going to lead them straight to Celine, and she's going to be in trouble again.
Excellent. Good. That's exactly, lovely. Cool. 3 dice. You got a 5. Is that right?
A 5? Yeah. I think you can travel on the rooftops for a bit, but there are air patrols.
Mhm.
And I think there's a point where you get not caught, but you're forced to stay on top of a rooftop for like half the night.
Right.
Um,
Camp out.
and you I think you get like a level 1 harm, exhausted. You can resist that, of course.
I think I will
Then you
resist
risk
that.
taking stress instead.
Yeah, why not? What's that a resist with?
Resolve, maybe. It doesn't really matter. You have 3 in everything. So.
Oh yeah. So resisting
and
with
the
3. That's
+1
right.
die from your crew ability. So
Yes. Whew, 4. Take 2 stress.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. And probably I'll like straggle in, the next morning, and just kind of like, look what I got for you, and toss it to Edema.
Aw.
There's a little bit of blood on it. There's a little bit of blood on it.
Oh, well, that's fine. I'll wash it off after I make sure Bria sees.
Nice. Yeah,
Thanks,
maybe just leave it on
Boko.
the breakfast table or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you got it. We're family, right? Family takes care of each other.
Absolutely. Thanks, Boko. We're even. I'd hope to call in that marker later, but we're even for
I
sure.
like paying off my debts as soon as possible.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's a gambler has to stay light. Learn that the hard way.
Yeah, we have a bit more than half an hour left. I think it might be good to talk at least a little bit about what job you want to do next. Even if Kai isn't here, I think at least I don't think he will be too upset if you pick a job to go with. And either way, I think it would be good if we could do some preliminary work if you want to gather information or that sort of thing. Like I said before, there's a number of suggestions on the jobs tab, but if you have something else that you want to do, then feel free to suggest something. Or if you just have an idea for kind of thing you'd want to do. If you want to take a job for a particular faction, we can figure something out.
Were we interested in getting some turf?
My top 2 are acquire turf and sell the artifact. Sell the artifact. Like, here's the I don't know if this is in or out of character, but Edna will say there are other people who want this artifact, and I feel like they're going to be able to take it from us. So why not sell it so that we get something out of it? But Boko, it means a lot to you and Morn. So I want you guys to be a big part of this decision.
Yeah, let's sleep on it.
I mean, don't we have more time to deal with that crazy thing? So
yeah,
okay.
Morton and I bought us a little bit of time on that front. Sent the Inquisitor off on the goose chase or Minoc chase. So yeah, not as urgent as it was before, but I see your point, and that's a big unique thing that someone would pay a lot of credits for.
Yeah. Rich is looking at the 8 creds.
I know.
Doing the math.
And so I think acquiring turf is great. I think we could grow, and that would be great. And we could then get more people into the gang, and that's just more security. That I think that's a good one. I'd also like to make sure that we can make sure that we get a good patron, that can help take care of us, because we're still little fish. We're getting bigger, and I'm a little, and I think Bade glances over at Atma and just kind of turns away a little bit and says, I'm nervous about the street set coming down on us. I mean, maybe we could, make sure that they aren't as interested in us. But that last one's not that important.
Where are you leaning, Poco?
I think I like turf. Intimidating the locals is probably not a bad move if we're worried about street sec asking around for us.
Yeah.
But I'm open to whatever, as long as we get some of those sweet boxes.
Yeah, and I think this one was called something else before intimidated locals, but like terrorized citizens or something. I softened it a little bit, and that's not. I mean, intimidated here. I think we should interpret that broadly. It could be like you're spending time around in the neighborhood, hanging out with all your big guns, and talking about your how dangerous you are, and maybe getting in some fights with some people to just show off how badass you are.
Talk about what happened to people who crossed us.
Yeah. Mechanically, what it does is that you get extra creds for battle and extortion missions. So that's the mechanical thing. The street fans give you extra creds for lower class targets. I don't know exactly what that would mean, but it's a thing. We'd have to figure that out. And turf, of course, helps you with increasing your tier, since it counts as permanent rep. Yeah. So you were leaning towards, you were talking about intimidated locals, or if you were going for some kind of holding. No hurry with the artifact. Yeah, so is that the one you want to go for?
Yeah, I think intimidate local sounds like a good place to start. What do y'all think?
Sure.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't think that's one you need to do a lot of research for. I don't think it's not a complicated job. We'll figure out something specific you can do, so that we have some clear scenes for next time. Or actually, that's probably a job we could do. I mean, we could do that job this session if we wanted to. It's very quick. It could be a fairly quick thing. We make some rolls. We don't have to drag it out. But I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. I'd love to knock
Yeah.
that one out if that's okay.
Yeah, why
Yeah.
not?
Yeah. Cool.
So before we go off on the job, I'd like to do a couple of downtime actions. They're both going to be trained. I'm going to spend my creds, and it should just take a second.
I think you've done your downtime.
I'm
Are you
done
spending
too,
cred to get
but I'm
extra?
spending
Oh
creds
no,
to
you're
get
spending your
a
credits
couple of extra.
Yeah, cool.
And mechanically, I'm just spending the creds because I have them to train to try and get advancements faster to catch up. So I think what we see on camera is Bade has that old droid that I grabbed from the ship that we hijacked, and I'm working on it and tinkering around and trying to figure things out. And then I figure out there's some pieces that are missing, and I go out and you see Bade kind of out in the crowd, and I'm slipping in and I'm stealing a piece here, and I'm looking over the wares that like someone has laid out on a blanket on a tarp, and I'm like, yeah, how much is that one? As I slide one into my pocket, and then I come back and I add that part into this like little robot that I'm working, droid that I'm working on. So,
Cool.
and that's going to be a train in insight for Tinker and a train in prowess for finesse.
Yeah, and I think your crew abilities gives you extra. You have training, insight, and prowess. So you get two ticks for each.
Yep.
Cool.
Great. So let's do that job.
Yeah, cool. So I think this is social. If we're looking at the approach, which would be the first time, unless you're just going to tear up the entire neighborhood and just smash things. But I don't think. I mean, you can decide how you want to do this. I mean, is this a case of you're going around leaning on people like the local business people, the mechanics and whatever who run the workshops nearby? Are you going to bars and picking fights? Are you just marching through the streets with your guns or what kind of, because this requires some sort of display of power or show of force or intimidation of in some way,
So
but it's fairly open.
Bade's direction is actually to play good cop. So Bade's going to do the social thing and go around and talk up, hey, we let all those prisoners go, and these are the prisoners that were important to our area. And hey, did you know that Etima took care of, Etima takes care of the people that needs to happen. And did you hear that people who crossed someone here in the group, in the area was taken out by Boko? So she's just spreading rumors and trying to play, this is all the good we do for you because we're so powerful.
Yeah, I like that. Good stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it starts nice versus starting off hard.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming you guys are going to turn hard, so I'm hoping. So
we'll see.
Yeah. So let's put together an engagement role. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? Don't
Doesn't
really
seem
feel
like
that. Not unless your follow-up is really something extra.
No.
No, but you have the one basic die, but not particularly bold or daring. Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors? No. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest? Yeah, I mean, the people here, they get hassled by StreetSec a fair bit. Since this is kind of a low priority area, they don't get a lot of protection from the cops, but they show up and expect to collect some gifts, some donations to the pension fund or whatever. So I think that's actually it exposes a vulnerability. I think it does. They're not strongest against this approach. Do they have particular defenses or special preparations? Yeah, I mean, you're not the first gang to show up and throw your weight around. So I think they're used to this sort of thing happening. So I think they have ways and say, yeah, but the wreckers, they take care of us, or I'm good with the rancors, and they've got my back. So I think I want to deduct a die for that, just because most of them will already be in some sort of relationship with a local. Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight? Open to suggestions.
do we have a lot of experience with the other gangs? I have a little bit with the Gray Mice, so I could talk them down. Have you guys, hit the rancors or the wreckers or anything like that to show them what's what?
Not really.
So
Um,
I'd say that's probably we don't have a
so,
die.
yeah.
Well, what about for Boko? You've got a spy, Valeris. What is she?
Oh
good?
yeah. I don't know. I haven't
Could
really
she
brought
be?
her in at all.
Well,
Yeah.
here we go.
Let's do
Opportunities
it.
and knocking.
Yeah. Yeah, we can say Valeris has been collecting intelligence with one of the gangs for some client of hers, whether it's Imperial or Rebel or otherwise. She doesn't really talk about it that much.
I just realized you are very friendly with Maxa and her rebels.
Oh
That's,
that counts. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah. I think just playing a little bit into that relationship is going to that's good for that. Sorry, not to poo-poo the
No, I
the
love
spy
it.
idea,
Yeah,
but,
it's good stuff.
are any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation? Yeah, I think being in a war with StreetSec and the garrison is going to negatively impact this, because I mean they're going to notice that you get worried when you see the scout troopers on their speeder bikes flying by and that sort of thing. And didn't you get into that big fight with the? Weren't you the ones who blew up the police station? Isn't that going to blow back on me if I? Yeah, that sort of thing. Are there any other elements to consider?
Well, now's whenever you could pull in your spy if you wanted and say they've been gathering information and know people's weak points.
Yeah, I'm done with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, give Valeris a call. Like, hey, I know you've been busy, long time, no talk. I found myself a new line of work, and I was wondering if you could tell me anything about the folks around here that I could use to nudge them in our direction. Do a little propaganda action.
Oh, and in exchange, you will provide me with any information you pick up on your end?
Absolutely. You know how I am.
Yes, I know how you are. Yes, I think this could be mutually beneficial.
Whatever we find
just-
out, I'll let you know.
One of the things we can give as payment, because he's looking for information, is we have records of the prisoners.
Ooh.
Right? So that's something you could provide to him.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll put that on the table.
Yeah. Oh, yes, this will be most useful to my clients.
And I don't need to know who your clients are, but if there's anything I can help you out with, you got my number.
I do have your number. Yeah, that brings you up to a massive 2 dice.
Woo!
Who wants to roll that? Spade were the one. Spade is the one who's doing the initial work. So Stephen, you want to roll?
I'm fine doing that. I just want to point out Mark rolled the last one. I rolled the one before that. Rich, do you want to roll? Okay.
Rolling 2d6. Yeah, I'm not going to name it, I'm afraid. Oh, 1 and a 4. Yeah.
4 is you start in a risky position. I think this is there are other gangs active in the area. You have the patrols overhead and that sort of thing. I think that's what makes this a bit risky. So Bade, you go around talking up the gang, the crew.
Yeah.
What kind of places do you start out with?
I probably start out with the places I'm most familiar with from being a pickpocket at the Gray Mice. So this is going to be crowd areas or places that draw large crowds. maybe a bar or two at first, and I think I start talking to people who might be a little bit drunk, a little bit susceptible. I'm looking at people who are my typical marks, right? Who wouldn't really know they're being manipulated. And then I grow out towards, once I get a couple of them, along with me, then I kind of grow out to people who might be more aware of what's going on. And I'm not looking for, a big show kind of place. I'm looking for local eateries or bars where like the common folk, hang out. So they'll help
Yeah.
spread the information. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is more like spending probably at least a week on this, because it's going to take time. So, and just generally talking with gang. Cool. It sounds like Consort or Sway to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm much better at Consort, so I'll say Consort if that's okay. And I'll swing it in that direction.
Yeah, that's just let me read. Yeah, Consort with connections from your heritage background, friends or rivals. I think this is if you're. I think Consort will work better if you're like going to maybe other people who used to be in the Grey Mice, maybe
That's right.
some fences, and some like the bartenders at the bars rather than the patrons.
Ah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
And making sure that the bartenders know, or the the waitress at the bar, or the waitress at the restaurant, or the cook at the restaurant, they see a lot of people and they'll help spread all that information around. Oh, I hear you're in trouble and you need some help. You could always maybe try and talk to us. So yeah.
Yeah, cool. So Consort, you have one die.
Yep.
Do you want Devil's Bargain or something?
Sure. Do you have something in mind?
I think. Ooh. There could be like a specific situation that you would have to deal with. You won't have time to call in Etema or Boko.
Yeah.
Like, we got this drunk guy. He's in here all the time. If you get him out of here right now, then sure, I'll be happy.
Yeah. So absolutely, I like that. So do you want to do the drunk guy roll first or the Consort roll first?
Let's do the drunk guy first.
Okay.
It's not going to directly impact the other role, but I think it makes sense to deal with that first. And I think what matters here is that you're making the effort. The end result isn't super important, but like the Devil's Bargain part is that you have to deal with the drunk guy who's kind of belligerent.
Yeah. So since they're belligerent, I think the quickest way would be to just, there's two ways. I could either get them so drunk they pass out and then drag them out, but that's dangerous. So I think it would just be, knock them over the head and drag them out, because that's what we really want to do, is show our power. So I think this would be a skirmish.
Yeah.
And I think they wouldn't know I'm, going to do anything. They might expect the bouncer to come up, but they're not going to expect, some little girl to come up. And I'm just going to bash them over the head with a chair and see what that looks like.
Nice.
And let's see. I think that's about all I could do. I'm going to push myself and take a second die and see what that looks like. Okay.
Yep.
And I got a 6.
Nice. Yeah, this guy he's like you know the type of guy who will go to a bar, get a bit too drunk, start bothering people, commenting loudly on others, and get into a fight almost every time he's there. And he's probably got a friend or two who tolerate him, but they're not here tonight, so he's extra troublesome.
And I think it goes down like I described. I just, walk behind him, pick up one of the chairs, I bash him over the head. He goes down like a, wet sack of bricks. I drag him out through the front door so everybody watches. And I think I take him back to the edge of where our territory is. And I pin a note to him that says, leave him alone until he sobers up. He's under our protection. So it's not like we rolled him over. This is very anathema to me. I didn't take anything off of him or anything like that, but it's for the good of the gang. We want to make sure these people respect us. Yeah.
Cool.
And then I think I'll make my consort roll.
And after getting beat up by a young girl, he's not going to want to show his face in that bar again. So their problem is solved.
Yeah. And let's do consort.
I should say young kid. It doesn't matter if it's a boy or a girl. He got beat up.
And I got a 5 on the consort.
Cool.
Which risky is you do it with a consequence.
Yeah. Harm, complication, reduced effect, or your position becomes desperate. I think a complication is what makes most sense here.
Yeah.
I think one of the other patrons, I think they just report you to Street Sec. She just came up behind him and bashed him over the head. It was like, we can't have that sort of thing going on here. So I think you're going to take 1 heat for the crew. The crew takes 1 heat. You can resist that if you want.
Yeah, I think I'll resist that because I'm trying to do this for the good of the gang. And I'm going to resist that. Would I resist that probably with resolve?
Let me see.
Mechanically, the way that this works is I roll either insight, prowess, or resolve, and then whatever I roll, I subtract that number of heat and take it.
Stress. You
Stress.
resisting is it's 6 stress minus the highest roll. I think you could do this with resolve. I think you could do it with insight. Like you notice this guy getting upset and you talk him down before he reports you.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'll roll that.
And you have the extra die from your crew ability, of course.
Oh. So I think that'd make that 5d6. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so let me roll that. Okay, and I got a 6. So I think the way that this looks is, I see this guy headed over, it's sort of like what we see in A New Hope with the guy who has the little communicator and he has the snout and he's like getting ready to talk to Corsac, and I kind of go over and I'm like, I think I lean up against the wall next to him and I'm like, it could be a lot of trouble if you turn people in because we're all looking out for each other. And since you're not looking out for us, I see what you're doing and I'm not going to be the only one. So it might not be a good idea to put that call in.
I wasn't calling anyone. I just my mother. It's her birthday. I'm leaving now.
Yeah, happy birthday to your mother. It was great. It's great to know
that. Yeah, cool, nice. So Boko and Etema, how do you follow up on this? Now Bade has spent a week like spreading the word on how you're the good guys. You beat up a drunk. How do you follow up on this to make people a bit scared of you as well?
I think for Boko, I've got like a bunch of little tidbits about folks around merchants and whoever else, even just like local low-level scumbags. and I think Valeris. I think Valeris like got me some like not necessarily incriminating things, but just like things about people that no one else would know, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
kind of like dropping into go to a shop and like, oh, I'm picking up some whatever, and just let it drop to the shop owner like, oh yeah, I heard this thing that nobody should ever know about you. Interesting, cool. Catch you later. And like hit, there's probably like a dozen people that can just like hang out with, drop a little tidbit and be like, we got our eyes on you. We like to know who we're protecting, and what what buttons we can press if we need to.
Nice. Sounds like Sway.
It does. That's one. I think I'm gonna push myself.
I'm there. I'm helping.
That.
So you don't have to push yourself.
I would like to push myself because then I can safely indulge
Change the
myself.
effect.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Yeah. And if you want to give me another die to help, that's cool.
Yeah, I did. I paid the
Oh,
stress.
awesome.
I'm helping for sure.
Cool. So it's 3 dice.
Cool.
One, 2, 3. Oh, that's a 4.
4. Yeah, so that's a consequence. You're in a risky position. I think you don't know who, but at least one of the people you talk to, they're in with the Rancors. And you start having a couple of Rancors show up in places you go to, and sometimes following you down the street. I think this is going to put you in a desperate position. It's more dangerous for you now.
Cool.
And that goes for all of you.
Desperate position sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's XP, but it's also risky. Not so much for Etema, of course, because she just resists everything. But
I'm sorry. I mean, not really,
no, it's
but I
fine.
pretend I'm sorry. I say the words so you feel bad.
No. You've earned that.
I think like one of the times like I notice like are they coming in groups or in like one at a time or pairs?
They're like 2 or 3 usually. Sometimes it's a bigger group of like 4 or 5. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So, Etema, what do you do other than just hang around with Boko and look scary?
I have to do more than that. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, or all of you together. I mean, you need some sort of clincher for this to really hit it
I'm
home.
okay with like when there's like a pair or 3 of them just like ducking around a corner, and when they follow us, jump them and let them know that they shouldn't be following us.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
This is a thing I like.
Basically, tell them this is our turf now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can follow us as much as you want, but this is going to happen every time.
Cool. I think we can do this with all 3 of you there.
Oh, nice. Good call.
Make it a group roll.
So, and I think for this to work, you'd have to take on like 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
Because if it's just a couple, then it's not really you're not really showing how cool you are if you jump to. But if you're challenging like a group that's a little bit bigger than you, then you show that you're tougher than them.
Yeah, for sure.
And
Into it.
Yeah, and you probably don't want to kill them.
Yeah, we want to
because
take the
that's
message
going
back.
to scare people in the wrong way. just, but you know, you do you.
Someone remind Edema that we're not killing them.
Yeah, Edema, we want them
Awesome.
to take the message back. So
Right. Of
at least some of
course.
them.
Yeah. Because it's about, yep. I understand. Thanks for the reminder.
Bade couldn't rip that guy off. You're just pull back a little bit.
I will.
Cool. So this sounds like a group action.
Oh, fun.
Probably skirmish.
Ambush, prowl.
Prowl could work.
If we're jumping in when they come across a, I don't know. What do y'all think?
Prowl sounds fun.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not
Edema's
great at it, but that's
sweet at
okay.
skirmish, but
Yeah.
So I
skirmish is
think what this is that you notice a group of rancors who they've just been in to shake someone down, like one of the bars. They've been in there collecting their take, and you can hear them like jeering at the owner when they leave, and yeah, we want our full cut next week, or maybe this place won't be around anymore, that sort of thing. So that's your opportunity to show that that's not what's going to happen when you're running this place.
yeah, I mean, if we want to like alert them, also like, hey, we don't do that around here. Like, not jump them, but like pick a fight and start a fight and finish it. Let them know we're here. Then it sounds more like skirmish.
Yeah, cool. So who's leading, which means that's the person taking stress. That's Etema. Cool. So everyone's going to roll skirmish. You can't aid each other because you're in the same action, but you can get Devil's Bargains if you want. And I hope, Steve, that you've been taking your XP for Devil's Bargain. Yeah, cool.
I love the moment when you rocket past us is going to be amazing.
Yeah, so let's do the rolls, and we can narrate the action afterwards. Does that sound cool?
Yeah.
Cool. So
Edema lead
let's start
off.
with you, Etema, or Rich.
Okay.
Roland.
Sure.
Skirmish, get 3 dice.
Skirmish.
I think your blaster hit is going to hinder you a bit here. You got that twinge for hip, but that's just reduced effect. So it's you will probably have limited effect is the term, I think.
What is the Devil's Bargain you offer me so that I can push that back to regular effect, because I cannot let that stand?
You take a solid punch. You take a level 1 harm.
And I'm accepting it, meaning I can't resist it afterwards. I'm just taking it.
Yeah.
That sounds hot. Level 1 harm means it's in the less effect, or is it in the -1d?
It's the less effect. Yeah.
Okay.
Same as the blaster hit.
Just making sure. I will do that. So I'm taking regular effect, my full skirmish dice, which is, it's just 3. It's not great. Six.
Nice. I put a punch to the face in your.
Thank you.
Nice.
Yeah, not usually don't get thanked for giving someone a punch to the face, but sure.
Thank you, sir. May I have another?
I'll roll my
yeah,
two.
so you have a 6, so the group's result will be at least a 6. Boko gets 3, so that's 1 stress for Etema.
1 stress?
I got a 3 and a 2.
Cool.
So 1
Got
stress
it.
for
That's
each.
you get 1 stress for each person who fails.
Oh,
the
okay. Cool.
So Bade.
And do you have a Devil's Bargain for Bade?
Um, Yeah, I mean, an easy one here is that you take a hit, you as well. You have to. I mean, if you're throwing down in a street fight,
Yeah.
you're not really used to that sort of thing.
Yep.
I think.
So I am not going to do that because that would erase my healing clock ticks. So
Ah,
Um,
okay.
yep. So I
Sorry,
will
I
just.
didn't know that.
Oh no,
But
no,
if you
that's
have
fine.
if a different suggestion,
I don't, and I'm fine. I'm fine not taking it. I don't want to feel all greedy with the devil's bargain. So let's see what that looks like.
cool.
I got a 3. Sorry, that's another stress.
Not
All
a
good.
stretch.
Take the stress. Thank you, sir. May I have another? She's into it.
Cool. So Etoma's the one carrying the rest of the of the gang in this fight, I
I
think.
was like, duck when they punch high. Come on, babe.
Yeah. So but you beat these guys. I mean, you're tough, hardened assassins, and they're like street punks. I think I want to see like what the discussion is afterwards, more than the actual fight. What's the Etma? How do you what do you say to the others after you crush these punks?
Yeah, I think she's like wiping at her nose because it's probably broken, but she's just wiping a little bit of the blood. Those guys were pretty tough. She lies.
I mean, yeah, they're fine. More than this would have been a problem, maybe, but we could take 6, no problem. 2 each.
I'm sure we got the word out. I mean, they won't be back here.
Yeah. Oh, and I definitely take the whatever the protection money they got, take it back into the shop and be like, don't worry about it next week.
And Babe
Oh.
winces whenever she sees you do that, but okay.
Oh, thank you, sir. That's very kind. You're sure they won't be back?
If they are, give us a call.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Wait,
cool.
Aren't we going to take money from them later, Bucko? Or
Oh yeah.
oh, okay. So they give you. Okay,
I'm just giving them a week off to feel good.
nice transition period.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think that's it. We're on time, so if anyone has to leave, please feel free to do that. But otherwise, I'd like to do the XP and a quick round of Stars and Wishes.
Cool.
Yeah. Right. We should do Fallout. We can do Fallout next time.
Okay.
We'll see. Let's do XP first because that's easier to forget the details. We'll do the crew first.
Yeah.
So, did you execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab operation?
I mean, kind of battle in going after another gang and driving them off, where we did go in undermanned. I don't know. As close as I got.
kind of extortion, you know. So yeah, I think that falls in this. I think this sort of thing falls into the wheelhouse of the Bravos, the Bravos type of gang. So I think you should get an XP for that, which rolls you over, so you have enough to take the
Old
old schematics advanced that you.
Yep, we'd all agreed on.
Yep.
Cool. Did you contend with challenges above your current station?
Well, I mean, we're dealing with the whole speeder bike thing with my countdown clock.
And teasing the Inquisitor probably.
Yeah, that's true. There's a couple of very unwise actions we're taking.
Yeah.
And we did take on Corsac.
True. All of those things are true.
Yeah.
It sounds like multiple times.
Yeah, I think we did it.
Yeah. So 2 for that. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one? Professional, brutal, loyal are your current reputations.
I think
Yeah.
brutal. Assassinating a dude,
Yeah, right.
wait like overnight, and also beating up some people and taking out some Corsac people right in the middle of like
Mhm.
broad daylight. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's some pretty brutal stuff.
Yeah, I think one tick for that. Does that sound fair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
seems fair.
Cool.
Those are lots of examples, but I don't feel like we overdid
Yeah,
it.
yeah. I think the IHOF thing that's definitely brutal. I think the others are kind of marginal.
Fair.
Did you express the ghost drive's inner conflict or essential nature of the crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Etema definitely the inner conflict, and I think with all the scenes you've had together, I think you've hit that twice. Cool.
Nice.
Rocketing up, I love it. We can take out that next advance thing and just erase that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or,
Moving on up.
moving fast. Cool. So individual XP, let's start with Etma. Did you address a challenge with violence or coercion?
Yes, that's was her default answer to all the things today.
I mean, we
Yeah.
totally could have just spent a cred and walked out of that
Yep.
restaurant.
We
Yeah.
could have.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that and fighting the street gang and I think you hit that twice between those.
Okay. No argument here.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I think so. I wouldn't say two, but definitely like her underworld labor kind of sex worker bit with Anissa. Also some of the Ratataki culture of like violence and wearing wounds as badges of honor affected how she interacted with Bade at first. So I think yes.
I think I want to give you 2 for that, actually.
Okay, I will not argue.
And remember, these can go to your abilities as well.
Oh,
They don't
I
have
gotta
to.
remember that. I gotta remember that. Dang it.
Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I tried to lean hard into reckless. I don't know if you call it struggling with issues, but she was not making
Yeah.
the best of decisions at times.
Yeah, I think you hit that one for 1.
Okay. Yeah, sounds great to me.
Jumping the street side people in IHOP. That's
Man, IHOF place is
That's right.
great. Let's go back to IHOF. There's always street
I'm
sec
not
there.
sure you're welcome there anymore. At least not that particular.
like the witch is like, no, you cannot come in here, Edema.
That's funny. There's probably branches of IHOF all over the place, but they all have like our pictures. They're like, oh no, you can't. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, cool. Boko, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
I tracked a guy down and murdered him. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you hit that one twice.
Yeah.
I want to give you 2 for that. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
Yeah, worked in the cop background pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You worked on Celine and you used your contacts and that sort of thing. I think you hit that one twice as well.
Okay.
Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
I don't know if I struggled with it.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
You don't have a trauma yet to struggle with. You just have
Yeah.
your gambling and your weird, and that just worked out. So
No, this is a long shot, but do you feel like Boko not exactly going for the 8 cred for selling off this artifacts? Great, but coming up with an alternate plan to forestall
Maybe.
the inevitable?
Maybe, yeah.
Because I was feeling like your fascination with the weird was causing you to make unwise.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Never. Yeah. Just put that off as long as we can.
I'm not sure that rises to the level of struggle. I think I push that into the express your beliefs and drives more
Cool. Cool.
in this session. So I think that puts you at 4 total.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. 4 in hunt. Boom.
Dang, man, you are a hunting king.
Bay, did you address a challenge with theft or innocence?
I think that in the IHOF stealing things, I think so.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. That's probably the only one, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So that's one. Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I think in the way that I hit the street with, trying to spread the good news about the gang and all that kind of stuff. I think so, because I was using the gray mice pickpocket group method rather than the strong arm, knives method.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's one for that. Trying to figure out if you hit it in some other way. I kind of feel like a bit of your interplay with Aptima, like the way you talk up Aptima and like embellish all the stories. I think that plays into this.
Yeah, that's probably a part of the belief system is that Etima's bigger than life. Yeah.
So I think I want to give you 2 for that one. So that's 1 for the first, 2 for that. That's 3. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
So one of my vices is pleasure, and I was leaning into that at IHOF, like, oh, we're gonna eat, and this will be great, and it turned into a big old fight whenever Corset came in.
That's true.
I think so. I think that's the case.
Yeah, because it was you overindulged that led to yeah. So that's definitely. So that's 4 total.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so that was the XP. If you're okay hanging around a few minutes longer, I think we could do the Fallout while we have it fresh in mind. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Cool. So rep and cred. This was not completely quiet, so you do get rep. You get 2 rep, and I think the target here is the rancors. And they are, I think they're also tier 2. Yeah. So they're not higher than you, but they're not lower either. So you get 2 rep. I will put that on your crew sheet. 2 rep. And creds. I don't think you didn't really collect anything. I mean, you returned the money you could have taken. So I think you're not getting any money, but you don't need to pay off anyone either. So at least you're not losing money. That's good. Heat and wanted level. So okay, I think this is that's interesting. I mean, you walked around and talked to people a bit. That's not really high exposure. You had a street fight. I think this is a contained standard exposure. I mean, people know you, but fighting in the street, that's not really a serious thing. Does that sound reasonable, or do you think it should be higher?
Yeah, and I think the wreckers would actually try and downplay this a little bit, so that probably plays in our favor to not do that. But yeah,
Yeah,
I think
yeah, that's
contained
true.
makes sense.
And Bade dissuaded the one who was going to call the cops. So,
Mm.
yeah. So that's 2 heat. Is the target high profile or well connected? Yeah, they're in with Corsac. So I think that's going to count for that. It was at 3 heat. Did the action happen on hostile turf? Yes. And you are at war with another faction, and this is the thing that your ability doesn't help you with. But there was no killing involved. So that's 5 heat.
All right.
Because you were throwing your weight around, and yeah. So entanglement. Now I will roll 4 dice because your wanted level is 4. That's something you may want to do something
Yeah.
about at some point. So let me 1, 2, 3, 4. Entanglement, and we take the highest, which is 6,
Yikes.
and you're at the speed 4 to 5. So that's a show of 4s. A faction you have a negative status with makes a play for one of your holdings, which now you have a holding. Give them 1 claim or lose 1 hold if you have no claims, or go to war -3 status. Yeah. Let's see. A faction you have a negative status with.
Rancors,
Yeah, but that's
Blue
kind
Brigade, Black Sun.
I think. Ooh. And the Bolt Smashers too.
The Office of Public Works.
Yeah, those assholes.
They go to war by like writing us up about it.
Let me check. I need to check some notes here. Yeah, I think it's the Blue Brigade actually, because they are a protection racket. They used to be like a neighborhood watch militia type of group, but they realized that it's easier to just collect the money and be bad guys than to actually protect people. So let's do that next session. But they're coming for you. So, and you that's really just making a choice. Either they take these intimidated locals that you just worked for, or you go to war with them. Those are your options, because they're going to say, no, this isn't your turf, this is our turf. The Rancors, they were working for us, or something like that. Or that's what they'll claim anyway. You're making a play for our neighborhood. Back off, or face the consequences. Cool,
Nice.
but you don't have to make that choice now.
Not now, but soon.
Let's do. Yeah, that's it. Stars and wishes.
You wanna? We normally stop recording. Do you want me to stop recording? Or
We can do it on camera.
Okay.
I think we did it on camera last time.
oh, okay.
Yeah, cool. Let's start with Rich.
Gosh, stars. Stars Undish for just a really interesting, intense downtime session. Like a lot of rough stuff happened. It was a very violent downtime session. Thanks for nudging us, Anish, for saying like, oh, you guys can knock out this turf thing, because we did. We had enough time and it didn't push too late. So I appreciate that. Star to Stephen for always doing a good job of playing Bade as this like charming scoundrel, but also youthful. So it like the mix of her knowledge versus her innocence is really interesting. And Mark, the Boko stuff with like, "Yeah, I'm hunting that dude down." Wow, we're vicious. Vicious.
Yeah,
Like
that's what we do.
we felt like bad guys this session. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Those are stars. Though it was fun. Wishes. So wishes definitely take the low hanging fruit of hoping Kai is able to come back, and that everything's good to go there, so they can rejoin us. And other wishes, really hope we can come to a decision about the artifact before it's taken away from us. That's my wish. I don't want to lose that opportunity.
Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Steven.
Yeah. So I'll start with wishes. You know, especially at the first part of this session, I was a little bit worried that I was hogging too much spotlight. I think that evened out after it, but yeah, that was good. The other wish that I wrote down was, this is the second time we've had a group activity, and to me, it seemed like the way that we would work together wanted us to do different things. We wanted to sneak the guys around the corner, and maybe then we wanted to start a fight with them. But and this isn't really a wish that anything could change. This is just learning the system, which is when you do a group action, everybody does the same thing. So it's kind of interesting, you know, the way that that mechanic works. As far as stars, I think, you know, I really enjoyed stretching Bade's muscles a little bit and getting some of that on screen. I liked seeing Bade seeing how debts of the gang are paid off. You know, at the moment was like, "You owe me one," and Boko was like, "Killed a dude for you." Oh, okay, thanks. We're even. I'm like, whoa. And I liked seeing the interaction there with Betty, and then at IHOF and at the shock boxing place, and seeing all that interaction. That was fun to kind of bring to life. Yeah.
Cool, thank you. Mark.
Yeah, I love the whole shock boxing sequence. It was like super entertaining to watch, and I think like gave a lot of texture that can be grabbed onto or used in the future. Super cool. I liked seeing Bade be like, okay, I guess I gotta kill these guys. Like, and like, yeah, looking forward to seeing that. And yeah, just Edmund being a badass all around, so good. We got like and stars for Undead for like getting a like full like rich feeling downtime plus another like mission in there, and make it like it didn't feel rushed at all. It just felt like this is what we're doing. Yeah, great stuff all around. Wishes, looking forward to seeing what happens with the Celine thing, looking forward to seeing what happens with the artifact thing, looking forward to probably going to war with another faction. Oh, there was one specific thing I wanted to, I don't remember what it was. Yeah, I don't remember. Overall, super good.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, Mark, I really enjoyed your conversation with Celine over the comms. That was a lot of fun. You just pushing her down and then diving her from the dead guys.
Oh yeah,
that was just such a dick move. I really
That
loved
was.
it. And Rich, your very business-like relationship with the sex worker, that was I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
And Stephen, both playing up this reputation about killing these helpless, knocked out or knocked down, possibly maybe already dead cops, but still gotta make sure. That was a lot of fun, and the one who was obviously very much not dead yet. And also bringing in Jaldar, I think that was great, great move. Thanks for doing that. I like having these interconnected universe things, and that's a connection I hadn't made at all. So thanks for bringing that up. Wishes, I think I want to make it feel a little bit more oppressive that you're in so many big conflicts with scary factions. I try to push it a bit, but I'm not sure if I'm pushing it hard enough. So I'm going to look for ways to make that feel scary, I guess. That's my wish to myself. Cool. That's all for me. I think we can end the recording.